All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto my elders and my apostles of great millstone, which are the men that rule well, who taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always be unto the elect. And Lord willing, the title of the lesson will be Deliverance will be Aeriel. All right, now I'm gonna start off by getting what that word Aeriel means. So because there was basically one of the brothers shared in the group chat we got. I don't even know who the guy is. I gotta watch the elders lesson on it. It was a part of the elders lesson, and it was this guy. It was two Israelites and Vocab Malone, and they were on his little live or his little show or whatever, and he was saying that the elders of Jerusalem, or elders will go to Jerusalem and won't be here for the MOT to the B, and how they're going to go across the Atlantic Ocean, and a bunch of nonsense. Now, let's think about this scripturally, because at the end of the day, it's about what's in the Bible. All right, it's about what does the scripture say. That's what it's all about. Always and always, that's what it will always be about. That's the only reason the elders and apostles even make response videos, or I'll say they make rebuke videos, because people are saying things that's not scriptural, and they're breaking things down the wrong way. That's why when they do things, it's thus saith the Lord. It's actually what is in the scriptures. Okay, no one here at GMS or brothers alike, we don't make lessons out of spite. All right. Certain things we do take offense to, like when dudes claim to be the Lord or claim to be King David. We do take offense to it, but we still keep it scriptural, because that's what it's all about. You see, the reason these people get responses or rebuke videos from us is because you're going off in the scriptures, and it's all about the scriptures. It's about breaking them down the right way. So I'm going to start off by getting what that word Aeriel means, okay? Aeriel meaning existing, happening, or operating in the air. An aerial battle. So the deliverance of the elect will be aerial. It will happen in the clouds. Okay? There's tons of scriptures we can get on that. But just to keep, there's so many that's coming to mind. But to keep it short, I'm going to stick with what I got. I don't want to just make this like a 40-minute lesson or something like that, because it even speaks about Jerusalem, coming down from heaven, right? In the book of Revelation, things like that. And I'm roughly paraphrasing, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Now, first off, whether I didn't watch the whole video, so I'm not gonna say this is what the guy said, but the fact that he said that the Jake going across the Atlantic Ocean to Jerusalem is ridiculous, because I don't know where that's at in the Bible. That ain't in the Bible, man. All right. Now I'm gonna get this in 2 Ezra 13, just in case there's anyone out there that really believes that this is talking about, Yahushai coming from like the actual ocean, because he's not, according to the scriptures. I'm going to get this and I'm going to go into it real quick. 2 Ezra 13:3. This is another scenario of Yahushai's second coming, which is also spoken about in Isaiah 66 and various other parts of that book. Jeremiah, the 15th chapter. It was also fairly greatly detailed in Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter, and definitely very much so detailed here, which I'm going to read in 2 Ezra 13. But I'm going to get this one in 2 Ezra 13, and you can read the others on your own. All right, so 2 Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Now, if you read Habakkuk 3, it basically says the same thing, speaking about the second coming of Yahushai, right? Which second coming of Yahushai, he's bringing forth vengeance and deliverance simultaneously, according to the Bible, because when he comes with the chariots of fire, which I'm going to get that scripture in Isaiah, which speaks about the whirlwind, right? He's also gonna, let me not jump the gun, because I have the scripture actually. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire, right? Because that concentrated fire from the chariot, because he was on a chariot, right? Which is different. There's different words in the scriptures to describe the chariots, right? Some prophets call it the whirlwind. Some called it the chariot. Some called it the chariots of fire, right? Some called it a cloud. Those are different code names, slang, if you will, for the chariots, right? So it says, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven. Keep that in mind as well, because it's going to mention it again in Matthew's, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now, mind you, we're already talking about how, what did we read? No, we haven't read that part. Salakia, no. So it says from the four winds of heaven. Well, first off that's what I was going to say. So keep that in mind, right? To subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now it said from the four winds of heaven. Now, when you read down, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. So did he just come out of the sea, the actual ocean? All right, and he's on a ship? No. All right, you gotta know a little bit of Hebrew. All right, because when you go into sea, or when you go into the Hebrew word for heaven, it's shemayim, which means pertaining to waters. Okay, so did Yahushua come out of the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean? Neither. He came out of the sky. All right, because according to the scriptures, he's on the right hand side of his Father right now, awaiting to be given the go to come down and deliver the elect. Right. So from the four winds of heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea, right? But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's talking about a chariot. That's a mountain. The mountain is talking about a chariot as well. That's how big his chariot was, though. Ezra described it as a mountain. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And that's the point. Now, like I said in verse 5, right? Yeah, flew upon it. Okay, no, Salakia. Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, still talking about the exact same event, just in a different book, in a different chapter, different verses, right? Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, the Son of Yahushua, in heaven. So Yahushua is going to come from the heavens. That gives you the answer to Salakia, verse 5. Subdue the man that came out of the sea. That sea is talking about the sky. It's not talking about the actual sea. He's not going to come out of the Atlantic Ocean. No, it says right here, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Right? That's talking about the sky. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, if he's coming out of the sea, is he really coming out of the sea? No. You got to understand what's being said there. He's coming out of the sky, the waters, the shemayim. Okay? So it says, in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man, they shall see the Son of Man, Salakia, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. They shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. So he keeps saying heaven because it's Aeriel. It's in the sky. That's where it's going to take place. The deliverance, okay? Even Apostle Paul said that. All right? Oh, so explain, you say, hey, people got to answer up, man, because you're talking about the elders is going to be going across the Atlantic Ocean. Bro, where is that in the Bible? What scripture is that? Please cite your sources. Like the brother Abajabah said, Jay got to start citing their sources because we trying to figure out what you're talking about, because it's not making sense. Okay? Because clearly, according to the Bible so far, and I can stop with that, that right there lets you know that the deliverance of the nation of, or the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be Aeriel. It's not going to be freaking on the water, But nonetheless, I'm going to keep reading more. So it says, because it still said from one end of heaven to the other. Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Now that's obviously Aeriel. You know? That would have to be whirlwind. That's talking about the chariots. That's in the sky. To render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by a sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Right? Now the chariots, they're, vehicles. Vehicles that, can they go underwater? More than likely. Obviously, the Lord can do whatever, but no, man, the deliverance of the elect of the nation of Israel will be in the sky. All right? Let me actually see. I think it actually says literally. No. Heaven. It's got to be heaven. No. I believe. Never mind. I was thinking of a precept. I can't think of it completely, but nonetheless, let me get this real quick, actually, because Isaiah 66 and 15, I meant to bring out another precept because it said, with his chariots like a whirlwind, right? Now, when you go to Sirach 48 and 9, which this is speaking about Prophet Elijah or Allah Yah, all right, and how he was taken up by a chariot, right? These vehicles of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, they're spoken about all throughout the scriptures. So I just wanted to bring this out for edification's sake in Sirach 48 and verse 9, because it says, like I read here in Isaiah 66, it says, "And the Lord, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." So the chariots and the whirlwind, right? This says both in the same precept, and it reads, "Who was taken up." Oh, this is talking about Elijah. All right, Prophet Elijah. Maybe I could start up a little bit. No, I'll just go straight to the point. Verse 8. "Who anointed his kings to take revenge, and prophets to succeed after him," because that's what Elijah did. Elisha succeeded after him, right? "Who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, and in a chariot of fiery horses. Who was ordained for reproofs in their times, to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment before it break forth into fury, and to turn the heart of the father into the son, and to restore the tribes of Jacob." But the point was in verse 9, where it says, "Who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire," just to prove that the chariots, they ain't going to come out of the water and then go back into the water and carry the elect to Jerusalem through the water. No, it's Aeriel. It's going to be in the sky. All right? It says, "A whirlwind of fire, who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, and in a chariot of fiery horses." That's in, the deliverance of the elect is going to be in the sky, man. It clearly says, Matthew 24, in heaven. And that heaven's talking about the sky. It's not talking about going to the spiritual realm. Okay? So the deliverance will be in the sky, will be Aeriel. It will not be in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay? So, I wasn't trying to sound funny or nothing like that. It sounds comical, the things these people say. But nonetheless, I pray this was edifying unto you. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakakwa double honors to my elders and apostles, great millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always be unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.